Hello, welcome to Spy Money. Today is Saturday, and I haven't posted the last several days or even week, mainly because I have been on a Jeep excursion. And so what I'm doing is I'm hitting off-road parts, and I've hit 8 parts in the last 9 days. And so I've been very busy, but I did run the bot a few days, and I'm going to go over some of the other days and so forth so that you can see, how the bot would have worked. I'm actually it's kind of funny, the emails that I get from people asking, what happened? Are you not making money now? Well, I don't trade every day. I try to. When I'm around, I trade. And this is on Thursday. It hit the $2,435 shut off, and I had the bot turned on. I turn it on usually in the 9:40s in the morning. It depends on what's going on. If there's news, I usually won't trade. I kind of watch it. If there is 10 o'clock news, I'll kind of watch it a little bit. But this day it hit 5 contracts. It hit the goal, the daily goal, $2,500 what I wanted. The bot shut off automatically. As you can see right here, it actually made the full target, but I had it set for a P&L $2,500 and it shuts itself off. This blue dot is just to show the 940 area. I've got just a little notification that pops up, and that way you can see what time it is. If you're kind of busy doing something, it'll alert you that it's time to turn it on. Also in the bot settings, there is a filter that you can turn on time, so you can have it set to where it will come on at 9:40, 9:42, whatever. But I don't necessarily turn it on there. I just want to know what's going on. In this case, we had a long signal here that went all the way up. Well, there's a good chance that the pullback is going to be a good long signal. If I was trading this without doing any kind of video on it, I would have moved my take profit all the way down to this area here. And the reason I would have is because I could have got one trade and been done. But when I trade with the bot so that I can show others how it works, I don't move it. I leave it untouched. And you can see right here was the first trade, $200 a contract. And then this one right here is another $200, and then right here is $100. So what I'm looking for is $500. I'm looking for 50% goals, and go from there. So this is a recording. That's the reason I've got it stopped right here. But this recording, I just never got it posted, and a lot of people, ask me, did you make money? And yes, I did make money. $2,435 is what it kicked off on the P&L, because there was a little bit of a pushback. Once it hits $2,500, it will shut itself off. And that's all we're looking for. $500 a contract, hit your goal, be done for the day. You don't need to keep on trading and maybe give back to the market, or maybe you make more money. Usually you make more money. But hit your goal and quit for the day. This is not a full-time job. This is a trading to where you don't have to work all day. So go in, work it for maybe an hour a day. Sometimes it's quicker. Like today, this day right here was 10:09. So our first trade was 9:53 or so. So this trade right here, you're looking about 15 minutes or so, and you were done. And go in, get your profit, and then go live your life. Go do the things that you want. Like me, I have a really nice Jeep, and I've got it fixed up real nice, big 40-inch tires and 1-ton axles, 4-inch long arm lift, and I've got lockers and air lockers and all this stuff. So anybody that knows anything about this stuff knows what I have. And I just go have fun. So when I finish up running the bot in the morning, and then I take off and go on my Jeep off-roading experiences, or maybe I just travel around. I put over 3,000 miles on my Jeep in the last 10 days, I guess it is. And I go out and have fun, and that's what we all should be doing. Find something you want. Maybe you want to play golf, or maybe you want to go out on a boat. Come in here, run the bot, get your money that you need, and then go live your life. Life is too short to be working an 8 to 5 job every day. And a lot of people are working 50, 60 hours a week just to make what I'm making a few minutes a day. This $2,400, most people don't even make that all week. Most people make $200-300 a day, so they're making $1,500 or so a week gross, and then they just don't have enough money to do the things they want to do. And what this bot does is it allows you to go out and enjoy yourself. I run it in the morning. Sometimes I run it in the evening. If it's trading good in the evening, we have the volatility for it and it's not taking too long, I'll run it in the evening, and maybe I don't run it the next day. I just want to go in. I'm trying to make my $2,500 a day and be done. Most doctors work 12 hours and then 2 or 3 hours for paperwork to make $2,000 a day. And I'm doing it in 15-20 minutes and no paperwork. I just come in, run the bot, let the bot do its thing. And, we have proven results that this thing it's daily. This thing is making money daily if you follow the rules. And I make newbie videos and trainings and such with people in order for the newbies to understand this is what you want to do and this is how you turn it on. Some days in Discord, I tell you exactly when I'm turning it on, and I tell you when I'm going to turn it off. Like yesterday, Friday, I did that. I told every single step that you needed to do, and when to turn it on, when to turn it off, and so forth. And if anybody just stayed in Discord and listened, they made their 50% goal. So once you did that, then go on. Some people kept on trading. They wanted more. And some people traded more. I don't recommend that. I recommend just hit your daily goal and go on. If you didn't hit your daily goal the day before, that doesn't mean that you need to go for more or less the next day. Just try to stick to your 50% goal and move on. So this actually works really well. There hasn't been a day that I've lost money using the bot. And that's not to say that I didn't come back in later. Sometimes I don't trade in the morning because the market's just not moving very good. So I will come back a little bit later and trade it later. So I'm going to show you something, and it's on my website. And what I do is I'm looking for a certain amount per day. So we come up here, and by the way, if you haven't signed up for our free webinars, you can sign up right here. Once you do that, hit subscribe. You're going to get an email. When you get that email, you'll have to opt in. So you click a link and it will opt in the website. Don't reply back to me because I can't do it for you. You've got to do it. So once you click that, opt in, and then any kind of webinar that I do for the public, you'll get notification. So this is the one I'm going to talk about. So it's just a spreadsheet breaking down how much money you can make or on just every day. So if you made $200 a day, you're going to make approximately $48,000 a year based on 5 days a week. Now there's holidays in there and some days that you're not going to trade, but if you made $200 a day, you're $48,000. $400 is 96. If you make $1,000 a day, it's $240,000. I make $2,500 a day. That's my goal. Now I'm not saying I won't make 23 one day, 27 the other, but $2,500 is my daily goal. So $2,500 will give me about $1.5 million or so. I think it's right if I did my math right. So 4 of those would be $1.5 million, then a half would be just about 1.2 million or so, something like that a year, is how much I'll make if I trade and I make $2,500 a day. There's one gentleman in our group that he makes anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 a day. His goal is $5,000 a day, and he hits it pretty religiously. He hits it. And so $5,000, one time he made $10,000 because it was just working good for him. So, you know, $5,000 a day is $1.2 million a year. Actually, it's more. Yeah, it'd be 1.2. So 2,500 wouldn't be 1.2 million. That would be like 750,000 or so, give or take. So about $750,000 a year is how much $2,500 would be. Something like that. I can't even do my math. Forgive me here. Caught me on the spot. But anyway, you see the point. You can look at this. You put in your daily profits that you want to make, and that's about what you'd make. $500 is about $125,000 a year. So, you know, put your goals. You don't have to have a goal of, you know, $10,000 a day. A lot of people come in and they start trading, and they make $200 a day working 8 hours. But when they're trading, they have to make $5,000 a day, and it's really kind of stupid to think like that. I mean, just come in and, you know, worry about making this. If you have your Apex accounts, for instance, Apex has a really good program. They have you can get up to 20 accounts with it, and getting 20 accounts, and let's just say you come in, you make $200 a day. You get one trade a day. You got 20 accounts. That's $4,000 a day. It's not hard to make $200 a day. I mean, it's really just kind of simple, just to be honest. One trade. And, you know, if you have a losing trade, you need to have 3 more trades in order to come out of the loser and still get, you know, where you want to be. But it works really well. We have BluSky, we have Take Profit. You want to use the rhythmic data only. In my opinion, I think Apex is probably the cheapest route to go and to have the most amount of counts. And Apex works really well with our system. Just use the rhythmic data. You click on here, type in SPY Money for your coupon code right here. This is your coupon code. You'll get the best discounts that you can possibly get with these companies. But if you type in SPY Money on these, and that will give you your discount. Click on these links right here, and this will take you to the site that you need to go to, and type in the coupon code and get started with these. It works really well. If you're traveling, you can do a VPS. And if you're going to do the BPS, you really need to do the high performance with the 16 RAM. This is the one you need. And, you know, it costs you a little bit more money, but if you're traveling and you're using different computers everywhere you go, if you have a BPS, you can just log into the BPS everywhere you are and you'll have it. Or just carry a laptop. You know, a laptop would be cheaper. If you have a good quality laptop, you want to have at least 16 gig RAM. But I would recommend to go something, you know, if you're going to do it, just put in like 128 gig RAM. That way you're not ever slowed down any, or 64 gig. I run 128. It works really well. But if you go into the lease program, come up here, I'll just go ahead and go over this with you. Your first month, we knock $300 off. That gives you enough money to put into your account to get started. You can trade some micros with it. You can trade in micros. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the signals are a little bit different on the micros than the minis, and we have everything based on the minis because that's where everybody trades. But you can trade the micros, and we're actually working on something that will be out next week that will, the signals are based off of NQ, but it will trade micros, and it actually works pretty good. Here's a video that you can watch, and it goes over how the bots work and everything. It's really a good one. This was a public live training that I did, and I just decided to put it up here so I don't have to do as many live trainings. And to get started, come down here, you're going to get the Coaster and Sniper bot. Sniper's really the only one we use. We don't use the Coaster anymore. Sniper's just so much better. And then we have all these indicators. There's a few more indicators, but we don't even use all of these. The only thing we use is a Sniper, and then we have some levels, and that's what these are. These are levels auto. Some people will use the Man of War for a trend indicator. I don't even use that anymore. Then we have the Sniper, we have the BWAP. BWAP's very important. We have the balance up here, and we have the floor trader. Those are the ones that I use, and it's just to see the levels to make sure where we're going. Once you look at all that, if you agree to it, I want you to read these 14 items. The most important one that is here is spot bot auto trading bots are not set it and leave it bots. You can't turn these on and go to work and come back and be a millionaire. It's just not the way it works. Things happen. Your data messes up. You get volatility spikes in the middle of the day. Maybe Trump decides to come in and start speaking. When he does, volatility sets in and it will just throw everything off. Bots are made to be trading in normal markets. If you have news coming up, you don't want to run a bot because the volatility will spike and it will be completely different trading than what you normally will. So it's not set it and leave it bots. You want to be there when it's trading. A lot of these prop accounts that these prop firms, they don't want you running bots where you're just going to turn it on and leave it on. Some of them will allow you to run the bots as long as you're there controlling it, and I think that's fair. We don't want people to lose money, and you could lose money if you turn this on and go to work. And it's just not what we do. That's the most important thing, and I can't stress that enough. But read through these 14 items. If you agree to these, then sign up. What you'll do is you'll start at the top, and you'll come all the way down here. Then you'll right click it, click copy, and then you come up to the top. Pretty simple to do here. Click on contact us. Once you do this, you put in your first name, last name, email, and your phone number. And when you do that, then you come down here and you type in, or right click and click paste. When you send this, that means that you agree to all these. And one thing that we have is we have a no refund policy, no exceptions. Once you sign up, you go into an auto pay, and if you don't cancel before the auto pay and it charges you, we don't refund. This is we're all adults here. We read through this stuff. It's not something that you want to do, then don't do it. The lease program is for 30 days, and at the end of 30 days, it charges you again unless you cancel it. If you cancel it, you lose access to Discord. We have Discord for active members only. So this is all pretty simple stuff, and I'll outline everything right here. And if you agree to it, then go ahead and sign up. We have many members that are very happy, but we do have people that quit because they can't follow rules. The rules are pretty simple. If the bot is making money, turn it on. If the bot's not making money, don't turn it on. There's just rules that we abide by. If you follow the rules, you're going to do fine. And I have a newbies training class that I posted today that will help you out. Once you get started, you just follow along with that. It explains everything to it. It's pretty common sense stuff. It's nothing hard. It's nothing that you have to go through and have a degree in order to know how to do it. It's just pretty common sense stuff. So we'd love to get you started and get you started today. Again, what you want to do is you want to pick your daily goal. How much money would change your life here? Do you want 200 a day or 400 or whatever? And the way this would work is if you need $1,000, you don't want to trade one contract. You have to have a bigger account and trade a larger account. So if you're going to want $1,000 a day, then you probably need $5,000 in your account in order to be able to trade that, in order to get drawdown and so forth. So get started today. And next week I am going to be in Tennessee, actually, on a Jeep off-road event, and I'll be there all week. So I will not be trading much next week. And I'm gonna have my laptop with me, and I may run the bot or something. But during that time period of 9:30 to 10:30 is probably I'm gonna be in the woods in my Jeep. But if you have any questions, let me know. Be happy to get you started. Let's get you started this weekend so that you can watch the videos, be ready to trade on Monday. It's not hard. You don't have to have a lot of money. I recommend at least $3,000 in your account to trade one mini. If you have that, then you should be okay. That's as long as you follow the rules on it, you should be okay. The bot has been making us money daily, and it works. So let's get you started and get you in the Spy Money Strategies and Bots lease program, and let's get your life changed today. Have a great day. Hi, welcome to Spy Money. How you get started with Spy Money and get your bots and indicators and strategies and so forth is you go to spymoneyllc.com. Once you go here, you're going to go up to, well, before we start there, you can start by putting your first name, last name, and email address and subscribe to our free live webinars. So anytime I have a live webinar, I send out an email to everybody. A lot of times social media and YouTube and such, you won't get the information until the next day and the meeting's already over. And I had that a lot, so I decided to go ahead and make it to where you can get set up on email. We don't sell the information or anything like that, so you don't have anything to worry about that. We don't bombard you with a lot of different things. The only thing we do is on this particular one is we send out the webinars. So get signed up for that, and that way you can have those. If you're ready, which I would think you would be, go ahead and click on Lease Program at the top. When you click on Lease Program, it's going to bring you over and talk to you about the lease. The first month is $1,000. We discount it $300, so you can take that $300 and put it in a live trading account so you can trade some micros, and that'll help you get started. Get your feet wet, make a little bit of money. And then once you get comfortable with it, then you go ahead and add more money, trade minis, and you start trading the way the bot traded earlier. So on this one, there is one thing: bots are not set it and leave it system. You want to be managing that bot. You want to watch it. You don't want to turn a bot on and go to work. It's just not what we do. So come down here and we talk about the bots that we have. We have Coaster and Sniper. I'm getting ready to add Snatcher to it. Sniper is the bot of choice. It does a very good job, and right here's the indicators we use, and I've got a little description out from several of these that say what they are. The main exit, there's an entry down here. Where is that one? There's the main trend. Here's the main entry, which is Sniper. So that's our main entry indicator we use, and then we have some where we take profit and so forth. Then we have frequently asked questions. These are the main questions that I get from people. Read through this before you sign up, and it will probably answer some questions that you may or may not have had and help you get started. One thing is the system. Your PC needs to have at least 16 gig of RAM in order to run this, so you need to make sure your computer's fast enough. Once you agree to all that stuff, then I want you to read through these 14 items. I want you to make sure that you understand what you're getting into and what the rules are and so forth. If you agree to these, then I want you to copy these like this. You highlight and then copy. Then go up here to the Contact Us. When you go to Contact Us, it's first name, last name, email, phone number, and right click and put your information here. By doing that, that tells me that you read those 14 items and you agree to them, and then click Submit. Once you do that, you will get an email letting you go ahead and join. The reason I do this is because I want to make sure that everybody understands what the rules and regulations and all that is. I don't want any surprises later for people. So get started, help you out, and move forward from there. We do have a VPS offering. We have partnered up with one. If you're going to do this, do the high performance. I need to change this, but you want to do the high performance. The reason being is you need at least 16 gig RAM. This one will not work, so make sure you sign up for the high performance or the pro, one of these two, and that will work. What this will do is allow you to access a computer in La La Land, somewhere in the cloud, to where you can have everything set up on your VPS, which is the same as another computer, and you can access it from any computer or phone, tablet, or whatever you have access to. So you can access it with all that. And that'll help you as, like, if you're a traveler, you're at home, your work, you can have everything just accessed from another system. Again, the lease program, get started on it. Once you do this, there's going to be a few things you're going to do. You're going to have a platform to download, which is the Spy Money platform. You're also going to have your brokerage account. So my platform will access your brokerage, and the two brokerages that we use are antfutures.com and we use optimusfutures.com. Check with Rhythmic Data. You can use CQG on AMP, but you're better off just do Rhythmic, and it works with everything. If you don't have a brokerage and you don't have the money put in it, you can go up here to funded account. A funded account, what it does is they give you the money to trade on, and you have to choose Rhythmic Data only. It will not work with Tradeify. It only works with Rhythmic Data. There are 3 right here we recommend, and I personally kind of lean to the take profit because you get faster payouts, and there's no rules with your payouts. If you make the money, you get paid. And that's the one thing I like about them. You can do up to 5 accounts. You click on this right here and it will open up and use the coupon code NOFEE30, and that will be the only price you pay. I think it's $110 to sign up for a 50,000 account, which is all you need. And you just go ahead and trade it. It works real well. The BluSky works real well, but you can only have up to $100,000 worth of accounts. So 50, that means you can have 2 accounts. You can have 5 with take profit. With Apex, you can have up to 20 accounts, but sometimes when the copy trader works, it doesn't work real good with that. And I think that with the take profit, it just works. We've not had one issue with it. So I'm not sure what the difference is. They're all 3 good companies. Apex is cheaper initially, but then you have to pay $130 to sign up for a live account. So you end up spending about $50 or $60 per account more for this one than you do take profit. So I think I kind of lean to the take profit. But again, all 3 of them work really well. They're good companies and they stand behind their products. So whichever one you want. And get started on it. Sign up today. We want you to get moving immediately. I have complete instructions on the website in order to know what to do. So it should work out good for you. If you do have any questions once you get signed up, just reach out to me. Once you get signed up, you'll have support tickets, and just create a support ticket. I usually answer those within a couple hours. Sometimes it's the next day depending on the time, but it's usually within a couple hours. But let me know what I can do to help you. We want to get you started today and get you making money immediately. Have a great day.